Hi everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel, and I have another book review for you today. I just finished Kate Morton's The Clockmaker's Daughter yesterday on my way home from a trip that I took. I listened to it on Audibles, and it just worked out perfectly that I was like 5 minutes from my house, and I was just on the very last couple of minutes of the book, so yay for that. All right, so I'm going to give you some pros and some cons, and then I'm also going to put links down below to Goodreads. I do write actual book reviews over on Goodreads. They're not super long ones, but if you're interested in a little bit more details or you want to read some of my past reviews over there, you can do that. And of course, I have reviews here on my channel. So please subscribe, hit the bell icon, give this a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Alrighty, so The Clockmaker's Daughter. What did I think about it? All right, so this is the second Kate Morton book I have listened to before. I listened to The Forgotten Garden, that's what it was. And it had a very similar vein to that as far as she sprinkles, historical elements are sprinkled throughout, okay, her novels. And I really like that. They're not heavy-handed either. They work their way in. And they make sense, and they add a lot of layers to her work, which I personally enjoy. And I think that is one of her, from what I can see now that I've listened to 2 of her novels, and she has quite a lengthy list of works she has written. It seems to be a thing with her, and I definitely appreciate her talent as far as that goes. So that would be a pro for the book. Her characters are also wonderful. It's definitely a character-driven novel. And she has a lot of characters, okay? Her books are, I would say it's not like a quick read kind of thing. If I was going to sit down and read this versus listening to it, it's not a mindless kind of, read. There's a lot going on. Her plots are fairly involved, I would say. They're complex, let's put it that way. They're complex. And I did notice this in the other novel of hers that I listened to. So that was something that just, keep that in mind. If you want something, a pretty meaty book, then I would say that was, again, one of the pros for this book. Lots going on, lots of characters. She travels back and forth in time, starting around the 1800s, and then ending up in the, I want to say 2017 is the latest, maybe 2019 even. So the 21st century, okay? So she does end up there. So she goes back and forth a lot. So that is something that, again, I think it creates a richness to the book that I liked. Sometimes it got a little confusing, but I think that was part of the fact that I was listening to it. And so, even though she had time markers, I didn't realize this when I first started listening to it. She does have time markers. She'll say 1836 or it's 2017 or whatever. She does include those. So, but when you're listening to the book, you don't always remember when you pick it back up. So, and you can't just, it's not like a hard copy. You can go back and flip and see what year are we at. So the media kind of affects that part of the experience a little bit. But I do like the fact that she, like I said, she wanders back and forth. So it's not a chronological from the 1800s to 2019 or whatever like that. But I think that adds to the experience of listening or reading the book. Alrighty, so the cons. I ended up giving this 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And in fact, when I wrote my review, initially I gave it 4 stars. But then as I started thinking more about it, I actually finished, like I said, just finished reading or listening to the book, yesterday. And today, as I kept thinking about it, I was like, more and more I felt kind of ripped off at the end. And so I went and changed my 4 to 3 stars. And the average she has over there is 3.74 on that book, which is still pretty decent considering there's a lot of problems with the ending of the book. Again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers because I don't like spoilers, but she had a lot of things at the end that just, things weren't wrapping up like they needed to, and then I felt like stuff was hurriedly finished and it didn't really make a lot of sense. So like I said, she has multiple time periods, so that means she has quite a few characters. One of the cons also I felt was it was hard to sometimes know who was the character we were at. And I think that some of it, the setting, one of the main settings is this house, and this house is supposed to have sort of, and the grounds are supposed to kind of have sort of magical powers. And so a lot of people throughout the years, I think it covers, I want to say 150 years, are drawn to this house. And so, and there's actually a ghost at the house, and the ghost talks a lot during, you know, the ghost isn't the only point of view in the novel, but it's one of the main ones that you hear. And so she sees people throughout her 150 years there coming and going at the house. So, so I guess that's some reason he was there, but I didn't, the ultimate thing, there's a mystery, that something happened at the house in the 1800s. Somebody got shot and somebody disappeared, and so did a precious gem disappeared. And so there's this mystery that you learn about fairly early on in the book. And then that's kind of like the big mystery, like what happened to the person? Why did the woman get shot? What happened to the woman that disappeared? Why did she disappear? What happened to the gem that, you know, the diamond, she had this blue diamond. What happened to the blue diamond? You know, that kind of thing. So that was supposed to be answered at the end, and it was, but I was not satisfied with the answers, and some of them I just didn't feel like didn't make any sense. I didn't believe them, and so I feel like something happened where it just wasn't getting tied together at the end as well as it could be. If you are a Kate Morton fan, then you might be able to be okay with the ending because, like I said, her writing skills are excellent. She does a wonderful job at description and characterization, and you do get lost in her work, and you get this sort of escapist feeling as you're listening to it, and you want to find out what happens. So I think that's a big plus. It's just, you know, the ending felt a little gypped. Kind of felt ripped off at the end there. So, which isn't something you want to feel after dedicating hours and hours to a book. So I will leave it at that. Have you guys ever read anything by Kate Morton? If you have, let me know down below in the comments. And I'm also curious, I mean, how do you feel sometimes at the end of a book if it doesn't feel like it's believable, the ending? Is that something that really, really bothers you enough to where you're like, okay, I'm giving it 3 stars, you know? Yeah, let me know down below in the comments. As usual, thanks for stopping by to see what's on my bookshelf. Bye-bye.